Honor bound to help those in need, Medieval Spawn sets out to help those around him survive attacks by a demonic army and leads an excursion in the heart of a troll cave. So this is Medieval Spawn, issue number 2 from Image Comics, and we start off right away with the explanation for this group called the Order. And the Order is a fraction of the Knights Templar. They were formed to go fight vampire covens in Eastern Egypt, but once the Templars fell, the Order continued to prosper and they continued to expand. And rather than just fighting vampire covens, they instead decided to expand their ambitions to destroy all impurities. So anything that they see as impure, they go after and kill. Of course, John, being a hellspawn, is one of those, so John has clashed with them in the past. But they go after like witches, like people who they perceive to be witches. So yeah, they're kind of like, I guess, an extreme version of the Inquisition, which was already kind of extreme. But we have one base of the Order, because there's a bunch of orders like around Europe and all that stuff. But there's one base run by this guy named Father Abbot, and he's talking to Brother Dempster. And Brother Dempster is telling Abbott about how there's been this creature terrorizing the region for months now. They believe it might be a hellspawn. We should go after it. And Father Abbott's like, no, because our numbers are pretty low. There's only like 40 of us. We should build our strength, build our numbers. If we go out and try to fight this demon, we will be slaughtered. This hellspawn has slaughtered entire armies single-handedly. We would be nothing to him. We'd basically be throwing our lives away. But Dempster's like, that's the whole point of this order. And Father Abbott's like, no, the whole point of this order is to fight impurities, not to just throw our lives away for a worthless cause. Like, there's no point in fighting this demon, this hellspawn, if we know he's just going to kill us. We need to find a way to get stronger. And overhearing this argument is this Knight Commander. This is going to play a part later on. But meanwhile, with John, him and his men have been fighting against armies and orcs and stuff like that. And he's been going from town to town, village to village, trying to find Abraxas. And Abraxas is a demon that was mentioned in the last issue. So in the last issue, there was this guy named Fitzroy who like stole this magical item, and he used that as well as Abraxas's power to turn an entire village into pretty much the flesh that hates, for anyone who's familiar with SCP. I've covered all that in the previous issue. And Fitzroy explains that Abraxas is the one that gave him powers, and Abraxas is somewhere loose and you have to find him and destroy him. And so John and his men have been doing that for what feels like months now. And they have not found Abraxas. Not only have they not found Abraxas, they've found no hint or clue that Abraxas even exists. Like, no one has ever heard of this guy. And John's men are like upset about this. They're basically like, hey, we're wasting our time here. We have been hearing news that our people are being slaughtered in the south. Meanwhile, we're wasting all of our time here chasing after something that might not even exist, when we could be going down south and fighting actual demons and creatures and monsters and evil and protecting our people. How long are we going to be chasing after ghosts? And John's like, I get what you're saying, and we do need to go south, but not yet. First, we have to fight Abraxas. We have to destroy Abraxas. If we don't, then there's no point in us going south anyways, because the world will basically be destroyed. It'd be overrun by evil. And so John's men decide, no, like, we're going to go south. So 2 of John's men leave, and now all that's left is John and Richard, the young boy that they picked up in the last issue. Meanwhile, the Knight Commander meets with Dempster, and he tells Dempster that we're on your side. Me and my men, we believe that you're the one that's right, that we should be using this time to go hunt down the hellspawn and stuff. We don't believe that Father Abbot is in the right. And he kind of just insinuates that while I hope for Abbott's continued good health, it's comforting to know that if anything regrettable were to ever befall him, it would be someone like you to take up his leadership role. Pretty much sewing in like, hey, get rid of this guy, you can lead, and then we can do what you want, which is what we want to do as well. And so Father Abbott is murdered, but the rest of the people are told that he decided to say goodbye. And now Brother Dempster is Father Dempster, and he is leading this group of Order, and they decide to go hunt down the hellspawn. Their mission is to go hunt down John. And that's all I'm going to discuss in this issue. So yeah, I like this. I thought this was good. This was very like just straight up linear storytelling. And the reason I bring this up is because I've been reading a bunch of other Spawn stuff. Like I'm reading Gunslinger, King Spawn, The Scourge, regular Spawn, other Gunslinger spin-off. I forget what it's called. It's like Deadly Tales or something like that. It's kind of like a origin story of Spawn is set in the Wild West. That's a really good series, by the way. But a lot of these other stories can be very convoluted. Like Spawn itself can just be super convoluted, especially when Todd McFarlane is involved. Yeah, that guy has so many great ideas, but he also has a lot of convoluted stuff in his stories. It's just all over the place at times, very confusing, a lot of retcons and things. So whenever you get something set in the Spawn universe that Todd McFarlane doesn't have his hands on, it's a lot more it's a lot more easy to digest. And that's what this story is. This story is pretty simple to follow. John's trying to find this demon and kill it. Meanwhile, there's this order that fight impurities, and they're hunting down John because he's an impurity. He's from hell, so we gotta kill him. That's the basic gist of the story. But I like the story. It's nothing crazy, nothing new, but it's something that I enjoy. I have mentioned this before in other videos, but for anyone who's like new, I love demon hunting stories. That's like my favorite genre when it comes to storytelling, is either a character or a group of characters hunting demons, hunting monsters, hunting ghosts, hunting paranormal, just hunting evil. That's always been like my favorite type of storytelling. I like other stuff, like I like groups like, superheroes fighting, criminals and stuff like that. Like that's all fine and good, but I always love the whole like occult supernatural aspect. That's why I always prefer Justice League Dark over Justice League, or the Midnight Suns, the Spirit of Vengeance over the Avengers and stuff like that. I prefer like the occult characters. So I love just, hey, here's some badass knights and they're going to be traveling through medieval Europe fighting demons. Awesome. That's totally up my alley. The story itself here, it's fine. This feels more like kind of a setup issue, I guess. Like the last issue, we had a little bit of a setup, but that one was like very action focused, and then it ended with, hey, there's this demon called Abraxas, go find it. And then this issue was more of, hey, let's go try to find this demon, and just kind of setting up the story, introducing who the Order are, introducing a little bit of John's backstory, which we've seen in other series before that I've actually covered on this channel, about like how his wife and son were killed by the plague and stuff. We got to see a little bit of Richard, like his fears about how he feels like every day he wakes up, he's forgetting more and more about his family that were slaughtered in the village in the previous issue, and he's scared that he'll forget their faces for good. So we're just kind of introducing these characters and stuff, which is kind of weird because usually it could be something that you do with issue number 1 where you introduce the characters and set up the goals and stuff like that, but we're doing that here. It's fine though, because I guess the first issue, having a lot of the action and the mystique and stuff kind of brings in the viewers. Now that the viewers are here, now we're going to hit you with the backstory. We're going to hit you with, here's the Order, here's what their mission is, here's John and Richard and their backstory a little bit, here's what their goals are. That's pretty much what this issue is. A lot more world building and storytelling, not so much action, which again is completely fine with me. It's just I bring it up because I don't know how some people feel about that. I know there's some people that just want action. Other people who might want more world building, well, that's what you get with this issue. This issue is more world building focused, while issue 1 was more action focused. But I like what's set up here. Like this world seems like very intriguing to me, and I'm interested to see where we go with this. I like the idea of we got Hellspawn fighting or trying to track down ghosts. He's chasing ghosts. Whether Abraxas exists or not, who knows? I think it does, obviously, but no one else really believes him. And now we got this Knight Templar spin-off trying to hunt him down. So that sounds kind of cool. So yeah, I enjoyed this issue. I thought this was a fun little issue. Nothing crazy, like nothing groundbreaking, but it was fun, it was entertaining, and that's all I really ask for when it comes to my comics. Just entertain me. That's all I need. So if that's all you need, check out Medieval Spawn. It's been pretty fun so far. If you want way more, like if you want like Shakespearean storytelling, yeah, you're not going to find that here. But there you go. Medieval Spawn issue number 2. I liked it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.